Matt Reeves recently revealed his game plan for how he would expand his The Batman Elseworld, amping the pressure on James Gunn. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Matt Reeves entered the DC universe with 2022's The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson in the titular role. The film introduced fans to a more corrupted yet realistic Gotham, different from what they had seen in Christopher Nolan's and Tim Burton's films. Inspired by David Fincher's Say 7N, the film followed a serial killer who turned out to be the Riddler. Matt Reeves' The Batman universe is expanding with Max's The Penguin receiving rave reviews. The show focuses on Oz Cobb, aka the Penguin's rise to power within Gotham's criminal ranks in the aftermath of the events of The Batman. With the show's success, Reeves seems to have figured out how to explore more stories in the city. It has been maintained since the beginning that Reeves' The Batman trilogy and any subsequent spin-off would be an Elseworld separate from the DCU's main continuity. However, with this Batman already expanding, James Gunn may be under pressure to ramp up his casting for the DCU's The Brave and the Bold. With the show, Reeves reportedly has decided on how he would expand this Elseworld by focusing on characters that would not get the importance they deserve in a Batman film. He mentioned to Andy Serkis, via Interview magazine, that he had been speaking with the studio. "We have been talking about doing other shows. I think the idea of being able to put a lens on these characters is a really exciting idea. It's about cities and their dysfunction and the world and its dysfunction, which is what Batman stories are all about. They're all about Gotham being a place that should be better. So Oz's story is Oz's story, and the idea is to do these other stories in the same way. As established in both the film and the show, Gotham City has a unique history, and exploring it in a way that would not compromise the story of the city or Batman is a brilliant way to expand on the world that Matt Reeves has created." According to the first chapter in DCU's planned series of films and shows, The Brave and the Bold will be seeing Batman and Robin as part of the main continuity. Though Andy Muschietti has been hired to direct the film, Gunn has maintained that there has been no script yet, nor have there been any casting announcements, via CBR. While Gunn himself is busy with Superman, it may be high time the DCU announces its Batman as Matt Reeves' Gotham City expands into other territories. It might be confusing for audiences to look forward to different projects that seem to have the same characters but not in the same universe. To avoid a DCU situation again, Gunn has to establish his Batman quickly. Despite initially being planned to be a part of the DCU, Matt Reeves' The Batman eventually became a standalone piece, with a trilogy of films focusing on a younger Batman being planned. After James Gunn took over as co-chief of DC Studios, Reeves' universe was allowed to continue as an Elseworld, with Gunn's DCU planning a new Batman. With the show, Reeves reportedly has decided on how he would expand this Elseworld by focusing on characters that would not get the importance they deserve in a Batman film. He mentioned to Andy Serkis, via Interview magazine, that he had been speaking with the studio. "We have been talking about doing other shows. I think the idea of being able to put a lens on these characters is a really exciting idea. It's about cities and their dysfunction and the world and its dysfunction, which is what Batman stories are all about. They're all about Gotham being a place that should be better. So Oz's story is Oz's story, and the idea is to do these other stories in the same way. As established in both the film and the show, Gotham City has a unique history, and exploring it in a way that would not compromise the story of the city or Batman is a brilliant way to expand on the world that Matt Reeves has created. However, with the film, Reeves established the various players in Gotham City, including Carmine Falcone and his crime family, as well as the Penguin aka Oz Cobb. The latter's story was again expanded in Max's recent spin-off show The Penguin, which saw Gotham after the events of Reeves' film. Ben Shapiro is never happy with anything. At least some of his hardcore followers have begun to feel the same about the conservative commentator. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. The latest in the long list of things he hates is James Gunn's yet-to-be-released Superman movie. He watched the recently released preview and expressed his disappointment as a lifelong fan of the Superman brand. Shapiro shared that he wasn't the biggest fan of Gunn and added that he hated the ridiculous humor in Guardians of the Galaxy. Shapiro's mere reaction to the blockbuster trilogy is itself a telling sign that he isn't exactly going to fall in love with the David Corenswet starer. Ben Shapiro bashes James Gunn's Superman just like he did with Barbie, and fans expect the new DC film to easily hit the billion-dollar club. A watch-along of the new Superman preview with Ben Shapiro was tough. Fans were not surprised to see the title of his latest video, which read that James Gunn's movie looks terrible. Shapiro began with his review of the new preview. It sucks. It's bad. I hate to break it to you. It's just terrible. Shapiro shared that the film sucks and aired a few grievances that some DC fans couldn't actually make sense of. But hey, we cannot blame him entirely after he stated that he is already in a bad mood due to the current state of the American economy. He shared that they had one of the most nonsensical exchanges in any James Gunn movie. He further shared that the gold standard for Superman movies is the original Superman movie from Richard Donner. He also shared that Cavill's Man of Steel also got the right idea about the character. However, he still had complaints about the color grading of the film. He went on to claim himself as a lifelong fan of the Superman brand, sharing that it wasn't hard to get Superman right as he was the embodiment of everything cool and heroic about America. Shapiro's unpopular opinion came after the preview received immense love from fans and increased the hype for the movie. Even Henry Cavill fans, who initially hated the fact that Gunn was directing a movie with David Corenswet, couldn't help but get fascinated by the visuals. For starters, Shapiro was frustrated with the lovable Krypto's actions. He shared, "Krypto proceeds to beat the living hell out of Superman. He's screaming in pain as Krypto jumps on him and continues to nudge him and bite him. I don't see the purpose of this. This is not dramatic. It's just silly and ridiculous." After lashing out at everyone's favorite superdog, Shapiro had a rare appreciation comment for Gunn. He shared that the Fortress of Solitude scene in the preview looked pretty cool. However, he then went on to brutally bash the preview for the scenes involving the Kryptonian automatons. Dog lovers also disputed Shapiro's comments on Krypto's actions in the preview. They shared that Gunn depicted the scene very realistically. There were comments suggesting that Shapiro stick to politics. Others mocked him, sharing that his trashing of the film would give it some hype. Some of the fan reactions on YouTube read, "Jesus Christ. Ben is never happy with anything. Dude, it's a James Gunn movie. There has never been a bad James Gunn superhero movie. He's turning the DC universe around for the better. With all due respect, you just don't understand Superman at all. A cute puppy doing cute puppy things. Disgusting. Face with symbols on mouth, face with symbols on mouth, face with symbols on mouth. Greatly disagree with Ben about Superman. How many dog owners, including myself, will stand up and say, yes, that's how most dogs react. Also, they're robots. Another thing, they have the magnifying glass for the sun to heal Superman because he's banged up, probably would be in pain to fly up into space. Grasping at straws. Bro does not know about superheroes. Why is he giving an opinion? Stick to politics better, dud." Wow, with a review like that from Shapiro, now I know this film is gonna be a H. So far, James Gunn's Superman looks perfect in all its promotional materials. The comic-accurate costumes, the settings, and even the plethora of characters and Easter eggs that flash through the scenes all look promising. The colorful filter also helps bring hope and optimism into the film and gives it a classic look. Fans largely disagreed with Ben Shapiro's opinion on James Gunn's Superman. One fan mentioned that Gunn rarely made a bad superhero movie, which itself should be a sign that he would turn around the DCU for the better. Another fan bashed Shapiro, sharing that he didn't understand the comics at all. Can James Gunn's DCU deliver a worthy Wonder Woman? Lessons from past adaptations reveal the challenges of bringing Diana Prince to life. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman was one of the most iconic and powerful heroes in the DCU. She played a demigoddess and Amazonian warrior princess